take off right where we left off. So next function is export const single quote swap after equals. It's another business rule as usual. Function input data, input metadata. Oh, and by the way, I did finish training branch 8 today, which was really good. And now, so I just started working on training branch 9, which is going to be the command engine and all of the supporting infrastructure for it.
Oh, true. Okay.
So that is super cool. Excellent progress. I'm just doing the header. Single quote swap after equals in the description. Swaps single quote characters in the middle of the string with double quote characters in the middle of the string. And that's long. And there's an example. Input is, let's just say it's a string input name equals single quote email address class equals single quote username. Okay. Output is, I'm putting in single quotes again. Input name equals double quotes email address class equals double quote username. So you see what I did there? It's this quote right here changes to a double quote. This single quote changes to a double quote. This single quote changes to a double quote, and it happens after an equal sign.
Okay.
So that's what this business rule is doing. You see how it's got these very specific mutations it's doing against the data?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what the purpose of this business rule, this function, is to do. So string, and it's going to return a string. And the input data is described as a string that contains text with single quotes that should be swapped for double quotes. Not used for this business rule. And the return is a string that contains text where single quotes have been exchanged for double quotes. Author and date 0201. So the rest of it is just copy paste the whole contents again, just like we've always been doing. Paste it in there, change the name, single quote swap after equals, input data, input metadata, return data, and then if contents, that comes out, and the return data, the end, the return data there. Yeah, and that's everything there. And then so inside the if, we say if, I'm sorry, not if, we say, oh yeah, it is an if. If input data dot includes backslash, and I'm going to do a backslash and then a quote, single quote. So I'm actually escaping with a single quote equals true.
Is that a parentheses or what is that?
Yeah, that's a
parentheses backslash.
Yeah, backslash and then another single quote, because the backslash is the escape character, and then you need another. Yeah, there you go. So actually, we're doing if it includes that single quote. That's what we're actually checking.
Like, I just saved it and it changed it.
Oh yeah. Well, you might have to double quotes and then backslash with, like, your outside might need to be double quotes. Yeah, maybe that's a way of doing it. Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you do the double quotes, maybe it's treated differently. I would expect that should be okay. Anyways, down here there's being else. Return data equals input data. And then inside this if. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. All right.
Okay.
So we're just going to put some notes in here. These will be fairly short. First, replace all the quotes in the string with double quotes. And I've got an alternate way of doing this. And I put this in here. I kept it in the alternate way. Return data. I left it as a comment. Input data dot replace, and it's / single quote / G. That's a regular expression. It's a global regular expression that's going to search for single quotes, and then we're going to replace that with a double quote, which looks like that. So that's one way of doing it. And I don't know what your system's going to do, but because being on Mac and some of the linter stuff that you have, I don't know how that's going to behave, but it does. I mean, it would do the job. And then I have the official way that I'm doing it in here, which is return data equals array parsing dot replace character with character. Input data. And then I am passing the regular expression as part of an array, so it is still there. Single quote, double quote, single quote, oops, single quote. And so now we're getting a little bit hackish with the regular expressions, and I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure how that's going to behave on your system with your settings. Generally, the good way of doing it. And I don't think we did we did implement this function in the array parsing, so it's there. And then I'm going to say next, replace the first and last double quote with single quote.
But you can, so it's pretty much like a regular expression. That's what we're doing?
Yes, yeah, it's using regular expressions.
Okay. All right. Looks like it took that.
Yeah, it did take it. That's good with single quote. Okay, so that gets the first part, and then I say if return data dot index of like that equals 0, then it's return. I'm doing the same old way of doing it. I'm putting it in comment. Return data equals input data dot replace. Double quote, just like that, backslash, and then like this. And then the other way is return data equals array parsing dot replace input data array single quote double quote single quote backslash quote. That, and then we say return data dot char at return data dot length -1 equals a double quote. Then return data equals return data dot slice 0 -1 plus a backslash. Well, we're escaping for the single quote, and I don't know, again, that's going to come back to your system being the double quote thing. Else, and that's a little bit wonky, but it works. It'd be good to write some unit tests. I don't know if this code is working 100% like it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
It works 100% for the use cases that I need it, but it'd be good to write some unit tests so we could validate all the other use cases for it.
Right.
So, yeah, okay. I think that's it for today. We can call that quits. I wanted to get more done, but we got reality here hitting us in the face. So.
Yeah, I hear you, man. No worries.
Yep. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 functions left, which is not too bad. And the rest of them are, I think, actually a lot more similar. Yes. 4 of them are basically identical with a few minor changes.
Okay.
One last final function that's completely different.
Nice.
But
All
also
right.
small. The rest of these are all small functions, and they're all almost identical.
True. All right. Sounds good, man.
All right. Well, have a good evening, and I'll talk to you again tomorrow.
You too.
And
Thank you.
let me know if you have any questions or thoughts, or just want to bounce some ideas around on anything that you're working on. You know, I'm happy to have somebody to, you know, just talk QE stuff. So, you know, I'm always here, man.
All right. Yeah, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Take care, man. Bye bye.
All right. You too. Later.